What's up, Coach Quits here. Wanted to talk about cell phones. I've been in the game for a long time. I may look young, that's the truth. But guess what? I had one of the first pocket PCs, all right? Before the traditional traditional cell phone, which is a smartphone. I just find it interesting, and this is the thing. So I'm gonna get all these videos out like this because I can't create anything better right now because I got nothing, all right? I don't even have a bed. I don't even have a desk or a chair, okay? I can't do shit right now. You think I'm gonna be sitting there editing? I can barely even fucking type a fucking paragraph, which is why I use Descript. Just fucking audio boost it and then translate it and then fix all the errors later. Something like that is what my approach to these videos. Okay, see how I go off on tangents? Well, I'm gonna keep doing that. Okay, so cell phones. What am I talking about? I'm talking about cell phone quality of voice communication calls. I was just watching this interview on Yahoo Finance. This is what's so stupid about the global world, the world of technology at this time, 2022. This is January 1st, 2022. Okay. I've had a cell phone since, I was a kid or teenager or whatever. Teenager. Because, that was before. I lived in the country when I was a kid, and I had a phone line. I had internet connection on a 33.6K modem because we didn't have cable or any other alternative to cable back then. Satellites did come out, but we never ended up getting satellite internet. I upgraded to 56K modem, and then upgraded by putting another 56K modem in my computer PC and getting another phone line, and combined the 56K modems to get a whopping 8K per second, like something around there, which was really amazing at the time for me. And I created a lot of things. I was doing video game design and also playing video games. A lot of the connections and the people that I met online back then, which is very similar to now, and I'm talking 20 years ago, okay? I'm talking over 20 years ago, because I started in like 97. So in 1997, I first connected with my friend in King City over a 56K modem. It was probably a 33.6 actually at the time. So I connected IP and IP, which was a huge breakthrough for me, was connecting to my friend's computer who lived an hour and a half away. We connected directly via phone line and played a video game together. This was before online, or at least before I, found out about online and that kind of thing. And I just find it interesting how everything is the same right now, but it's all different. I used to use MIRC, ICQ, MSN Messenger, AOL Instant Messenger. Those were the top, right? And what do you have now? You got WhatsApp, you got Discord, you got blah, 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 right? So everything's moved, shifted. I've lost all my contacts. That's what I'm doing here right now also, is like I'm gonna be reaching out to people I used to know on the internet. Shout out to Liquid Ice in this video, because I was thinking about him yesterday. Some people, that I did a lot of business back in the day with online. I created a business entirely online. I was working with people in the States, in Europe, that's it. Maybe more, but basically people from all around the world. And I knew people from all around the world, but not necessarily worked with them directly. I had business partners in the United States, Canada, Europe, etc. Okay, now who am I? I'm a totally different person now. got out of the game. I got out of the whole internet business building game. I tried. I thought I knew. I thought I wanted to do it again, and I still do, but it's got to be totally different and on my terms, and as a more artistic and scientific project than a business and economic kind of perspective. I basically became an artist as an entrepreneur, as a business guy, as a developer, designer. I used a bunch of those skills to become what I call an artist. And the artist is an interesting path to choose because it is about perception, and that's, it has its positives and negatives, like anything in life. So I'm putting all that into these YouTube channels that I'm creating. I've created a multi-channel network based on this concept called Quits. Came to me in a dream. I woke up, I knew exactly what this brand will be. So this is like a personal brand experiment being the appropriate term, because I don't really give a fuck, to be quite honest. This is not about the money. I already have a job. I have just a classic factory job in a manufacturing industry. I want to branch out into construction, creation with my hands and power tools. That's sort of where I'm going with all that. So really this internet thing is a side gig. Don't really give a fuck. This is my Coach Quit channel. So this is a whole different approach to things. Because I'm so much of an artist that I'm all over the place. I'm doing everything. I want to do science, health, tech, media, entertainment, education, blah, 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 blah. I have to break my channels down because I'm not going to be able to just focus on one channel and like make these videos, especially because my videos are kind of low quality like this. It's not low quality in terms of high definition, but low quality in terms of it's literally just me speaking. And this is what I should have been doing way back in the day, because I was on the YouTube platform from the beginning. I went to one of the first it was the first YouTube meetup, I believe, in Toronto. I met all the big names back then. I feel like I am a part of the YouTube community for that long. I was part of the truth community on YouTube. I've seen the whole fucking thing go down. I was part of pretty much all sorts of communities on YouTube in the background, always creating over and over again, rebranding, trying to do something different, because it was never good enough for me. I've gone through like 20 names, all right, and I landed on Quits. Quits is an interesting name because you can call me Quits, because there's a juxtaposition there, there's a conflict there, there's some interest. It also rhymes with my real name. So there is and also it's kind of like the thing that I really wanted to do, because I got tied up in some abusive behavior like alcoholism and smoking cigarettes. That's pretty much it. Dabbled in some drugs, I was always seeking. The seeking was for enlightenment, like creativity, intelligence, and now I realize how detrimental that was in a sense, in some senses, but also in some senses it did make me who I am today. So I don't really know what to say about it other than it's easy to quit. That's what I'm gonna make a whole series on quitting things, because again, going back to the tech stuff, I'm going to YouTube, web development for 20 plus years. I've owned hugely popular websites. I've owned an advertising agency doing millions of impressions per day. This is early 2000s, by the way. Early 2000s, I'm talking. So all you guys who came on YouTube, let's say from 2010 to 2020, I already did all this shit in 2000 to 2010. So it's interesting to see the evolution of these systems. One of the systems I did build with my partner Liquid Ice was an ad serving software, which became, we were on that shit in the year 2000, okay? 20 years later, the biggest fucking companies in the world are based on that little piece of software that we also built together. We built a ad serving software, which was a huge thing back in the day and getting bigger and bigger. Unfortunately, I didn't, there was just a bunch of fucking shit that went down and I had to quit. So I quit. So that's why I'm here today doing this, because it's I have a whole new vision and for what I want to do next. And that's sort of the key that I'm talking about as well, is what do I want to do next? I've done it all. I actually have done it all. So I'm satisfied now with my progress and my process and the products that I've created. I don't have the ability to just bring them up right now and show you and brag about it and fucking, prove it. But that's not really what's important anyway. Because the people who are still alive, who knew me back then, can confirm that, and I want to create with them and connect with them. And I would say connect with them more so than create, but those have been very interesting for me, because it's like I've always pushed creation over connection, because my connections with people often die. They fall apart. Nothing is created out of it. There's so much interplay and exchange of nothing. Like my friendships resulted in nothing. Other than that renaissance that I had back in the early 2000s, I haven't really created with anybody else ever since, which has been really tormenting in a lot of ways, but also freeing in a lot of ways, because I've had some time to think about it and understand what I want, the tools I'm going to be using to do this. For instance, I'm not really on social media. I gave up Facebook back in the 2000s, late 2000s. So I already gave up. I already quit fucking Facebook. I did some Instagram 4 years. In the last 4 years, quit that now. Twitter, never really got into that, but I might use Twitter just because it is kind of a messaging platform, I guess. So some of these messaging platforms I will be using. YouTube is my go-to. That's my number one. It's my favorite platform, always has been. Hopefully always will be, but we all know how many changes have happened and how shitty it has sort of become. Due to the algorithm on the side, related videos, not so related anymore, or maybe too related, and not, or maybe there's too much content now, or maybe they've just, they've cut all the cool content that used to be on YouTube, and whatever. So that remains to be seen. What else am I gonna say? I think that's it, actually. That's a good fucking start to this Coach Quits channel. Coach Quits, you can call me Quits. Check it out. Whatever. I got quitsofficial.com. That's my website. I paid for a month of Shopify. Whatever. Drop shipping, fucking t-shirts and shit. This is because I'm a designer, artist, so I'm gonna be coming up with designs and shit. But who cares? It's literally not about making money. It's about doing the work for me, for you. My inspirations, I'll just go through a couple. Seth Godin comes to mind with that whole thing. It's like shipping, delivering the product, making something. Marshall McLuhan, medium is a massage. Whatever. They're some of my top two. Okay. Trust agents. I did a whole thing on trust agents. That, you know, back in the day when this was all new, like there's a whole education I think that a lot of people did not go through, and I think I went through that. So I'm going to be sharing what the insights that I have through the channels like this. I'm creating a multi-channel network. That's what the Quits Official brand is. So this is one of the channels that I have, and I'm going to be making videos across the board about all sorts of shit. One of my other channels, I locked into a niche. I didn't even make content myself. I just clipped, you know, a Clippers channel. Fucking already got like 30 subscribers on that channel in like a weekend. And I've done this before. You know, I had a popular channel back in the day. Probably I had like over 1,000 subscribers. I don't even remember. Same as I previously was known as Garbage Media, Me Beta, whatever. I got a bunch of fucking concepts that I'm very conceptual. I like the concept, but then you know, it's almost like my consciousness had to move those out of the way to get to something that I can really play with, and I believe that it is Quits. I think that kind of embodies, or I am going to embody this new name. Because I don't know, like I basically don't even know yet. So I'm gonna leave it at that. I don't even know yet, but it is cool. And I like that it's cool and that I can play across the board with that concept. Like a lot of other ones, it's like garbage, you know, I can't really fucking put that over here. So it had to be a personal branding experiment so that I can really have fun with it, primarily because a lot of what I've been trying to do is like, what do I do? Like that's been a very important problem. Like right now I'm watching YouTube videos and I'm getting fucking bored, you know, and I'm getting kind of sick and tired of just doing that. I want to produce, I want to have output. In the past I've always kind of like had this output, and then I would be very shy and overly critical of my own work. So that's why it's important that I'm putting these things out there already, just as is, like this video right here, which is almost essentially a live video, because I did not prepare for this video, I did not script this video. This is just all from the top of my noodle, and that's kind of cool. And you know, that's been a hard thing for me to do, is to come out and just be like, yo, this is what's up, and just shoot the shit, boom, 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 boom. So I'm really happy with the way this video has come into being, let's just say. It'll be my first video on Coach Quits. I did a couple others in the past few days, in this new year area, from the transition from 2021 to 2022. It's a whole new ball game. It's a whole new system. It's a whole new blah, blah, blah. I got other fucking things to say, but this is a good start for that. Coach Quits. You can just subscribe. If you like me, my voice, my cadence, the ideas that I've just thrown out, please subscribe. Leave a comment. I will respond to all the comments, except if it's retarded, then I probably won't respond to retarded comments. No offense. And none taken, I gather, because you're probably cool. Because I'm just assuming that my audience, when I do have an audience, and an audience is not really what I want either. I want connection with specific individuals, which is part of this thing that I was just trying to explain before, these messaging programs. I don't have messaging programs. I'm just gonna keep going because I have a few other ideas. Phone, I barely use my phone. I haven't used my phone in fucking 10 years, you know. Like, I barely use that fucking thing. I don't connect with people on phone or via text or via messenger. I don't have Instagram. I'm not on dating apps. I'm not gonna be on fucking, I'm not on Twitter, I guess, like, whatever. On Facebook, I'm not on any of those fucking platforms. So I'm channeling all that activity that I would be investing into those platforms. I'm gonna be channeling all that into this platform because I don't give a fuck about Instagram. I already did that. It had its day, or TikTok, let's say, that had its day too, in my opinion. It's not good enough. That's why I like this kind of content better. I think this is more involving. I worked in TV production for 5 years. TV, studied from the best, Marshall McLuhan. He was all about TV image versus literate, etc. I have a lot to give to people through this medium. So I just want you to understand that it's a lot to give, and it's a lot to get through, and it's a lot of like effort, energy that has produced just this one video right here to begin. So this is like the art of the start. Had to start somewhere. Had to be cool like this. Had to be in my own space. This is my own space. Very small space. I got a small studio, bachelor. I don't got much. Like I said, I don't have furniture. I got a guitar. I got a shit laptop. I got a fucking iPhone 8. I'm in 2022. I got a fucking iPhone 8. I got a GoPro 8. I got a backpack. I got a fucking kettle, a toaster. I got some appliances. It came with the place. Fridge, whatever. I'm not gonna go through. That's it. Okay, that's it. Yeah. I got some rollers. I got the internet. That's it. Alright. So I'm really starting from scratch. I'm putting it all out on the table. I'm very transparent. Always have been. It's just like, it's been a crazy fucking journey for me. So to be putting myself out there, publishing this content is really hard, and I've avoided it for long enough. Charlie, stop. This game is going on long enough. I always like that quote from Always Sunny. That was Dennis coming in hot, talking to Charlie. Anyway, like that stuff. I've been studying media, studying TV, not just TV production in like the podcast and live talking head kind of studio shit, which I did, but also writing television programming, like episodic TV, movies, etc. It's a passion of mine, but again, not a passion of mine if it's going to be the way that they're currently doing it right now. I got to reinvent everything. That's always what I'm about. It's a tough road, but someone's got to do it, and that's going to be fucking me. All right? So I'm going to leave it at that. That's how I work. Done. Quits official. Thank you for watching at least some of this, because I know, the audience retention goes down as time goes on, because where is this going? Okay. Beep. Flatlined. The earth is flat too, by the way.